Okay, in part 2 of the video, I'm going to show you how to add some toolpaths. The first thing we want to do is move our object to the center of our plate. So our plate is defined in red. Our objects I've selected. So I'm going to bring up my precision input center again. That's F2, or you can go into view and down at the bottom there. I'm going to go to move, and I'm going to drop this in the center of our document, which X would be 8 and Y 2.25. So we'll hit OK on that. Add everything selected so it all moved together. At that point we can close that down. We want to cut out the datas first, and then we'll do the cutout here. I'm going to select, holding shift down, I'm going to select all 3 of these rectangles, and then I'm going to go up to the hatch fill option. Alright, so this is my different toolpaths. We're going to sort tools by end mill to begin with, and you're going to find a 1/4 inch end mill. You're going to double click it. Take it up here. You're going to add a depth in of, if we look at our drawing here, our depth for our datas is a 1/4 inch. So we're going to put a depth in of 0.25. Now we're going to go in and edit the toolpath. We're going to do a couple things here. We have to look at fills, we have to look at number of passes, feeds and speeds. First thing we're going to do is bump our number of passes to 2. 2 passes will allow us an actual depth per cut of 1/8 of an inch. We're going to update our feeds and speeds. Our feed rate, we're going to feed at 100 inches per minute. We're going to plunge at half our feed rate, so at 50. Our spindle is going to spin at 18,000. That's the max RPM on the CNC router. One thing I know, we're going to change our hatch angle to 90 degrees so that it hatches up and down instead of left to right. And then we're going to hit OK on that, and we're going to hit OK again. You can take a look at how that's going to do that path. You can see on the end here how it ends. That's the radius of the cutter that's going out there. That's why we had to overlap that. Now the next toolpath and final toolpath for this one is the outside cutout. So in this one we're doing a routing offset. So we select that piece of geometry, we go to routing offset. We'll be using the same end mill, so we're going to double click that. Now we have to go all the way through the material here, so we're going to put in 0.5 as our depth, and then we're going to go in and edit that. We're going to bump that number of passes up to 4, so it's taking off 1/8 of an inch per pass. When we get down to feeds and speeds, it'll be the same, so 100 for our feed rate, plunge rate will be 50, spindle speed 18,000. At that point you should be able to hit OK on this and OK again, and it's going to build that toolpath. We're now going to look at what that toolpath will look like in a simulation. So you're going to go to the machining menu and you're going to simulate 3D. You're going to animate so you can see the process here. You're going to turn your light bulb on to see the actual material, and you're going to hit play. You want to see it cut out your datas first, and then you want to see it go ahead and cut out the actual edge of the part. So now it's going to go around, make those 4 passes to cut that out. Alright, now I'm going to hold the shift key down with left or with right mouse, and you can see it cut all the way through. The problem is once it cuts through, we'll have this screwed down to the table, but once this cuts through, this piece is going to float. So we have to add some tabs to this part. So we're going to get out of our simulation, double click on perspective, and then double click on the top view to take you back. I'm going to select that outer toolpath, so that's just a left click, and I'm going to go to toolpath, edit toolpath. And down here I am going to add width bridges, and then I'm going to add, it says number of bridges 1, that's not going to hold us. Let's do 6 bridges. Bridge height says 0.1 and length 1/2 inch. That seems pretty good. We'll take that back down to 6 again, and we'll hit OK. These green areas, this is where the bridge is. This might be a little bit difficult on the end, so I'm going to select that toolpath and go up to toolpaths and edit bridges. You can hold your left mouse in the middle of that bridge, and I would slide that so it's not on a corner. It's going to be easier to sand later on. So I'll bring that one down about there. That looks pretty good. And at that point I'm ready to simulate once again. So we'll put on our animate, we'll hit OK on that, we'll put on our colors, and we'll go through that quick simulation. If I hold shift again with my right mouse and flip it upside down, I can now see those bridges. That's going to hold that together until we get that out of the router. We're now ready to send this to a file. So you're going to go to machining, you go to output, you're going to have to go and define a driver. So you're going to have to go to drivers, you're going to go to active drivers, you're going to scroll down until you find Techno HD, and you're going to look for IJ Arcs. Once you have that selected, you're going to hit that over here, you're going to select it and hit OK. You're going to hit OK again, it should say IJ Arcs there, and then you're going to go to to file. At this point you want to save this, and we'll get this on a flash drive. I'm going to save this into my folder here, and I'm just going to call it, ME2, and then I'll put my name after it. You put your name after your file, and it's going to be a .nc file when you're done. Once you have it at this point, I do want to check your settings before we run it.